And welcome back
Oh, sorry.
to another episode of Cats Cup Podcast. You're here with your boys, Christian and Cody. Got it holding down here on Cast Cut.
Christian,
So how we doing tonight?
Dang it, you beat me to it. I was about to ask you the same question.
Well, great mind, thanks a lot, buddy.
Great minds think alike. They sure do.
That's right.
Man, doing great. Work today. Had a great day at work. A little wet outside, but ain't
A little wet outside, yeah. There's a lot of rain.
not bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be quite a bit of rain next few days here in Kentucky and all the states around us because there is a big hurricane hitting Florida or supposedly tonight, correct?
I think tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Something like it.
Yeah,
It'll hit us at some point.
Yeah, it's supposed to be hitting us for quite a while. I know that a lot of schools here locally are calling off.
I know some high school football teams are canceling their games this week because of the weather. So
yeah,
I don't know about Bell County. Has Bell High?
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
But I mean, when people hear this, they could have by the time they actually listen. So
yeah,
if you're listening to this and they did cancel the game, we're sorry. Just not well known just yet to us. But Cody, we were there Saturday, watching our Cats. We expected a big win, and dude,
we got it.
You were 3 points off.
3 points off. I was close again on the score prediction,
bro. You've been in your bag.
Close. Second week in a row, I've been close. I guess the right score, but the wrong score last week. I had 13 Kentucky, not Georgia. Yeah, I got the 41 right.
Yeah, you got 13. You had 13-10 Kentucky winning the Georgia game, and then this week you were off by 3, and you had 41 right, but you predicted them to score 3. I think mine was like 36-18 or 16.
We were all close. We were all pretty close.
I was just kind of expecting us to get off to an early lead, which we did. But I kind of figured our defense, putting in the second strings, would just kind of let off the gas. But they really didn't.
No, the defense played really good. Which the defense has impressed me all year. Obviously, they played a great game against Georgia. And had a great game against Ohio. Maxwell Harrison finally getting the interception we've been waiting for, and it was a touchdown.
Yeah. And I feel like Kentucky's really good at stopping the run this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that's one thing that you can kind of rely on week in, week out. Because, they did really good against Georgia. South Carolina, not as much, but I think that was just one of them games,
Yeah, yeah.
But, since the South Carolina game, the defense looks a lot better. The offense seems like it's starting to get its groove a little bit. So,
but it was Ohio, so I'm not.
It was Ohio, but you need them games though to get right.
You need that.
You need to get those games, get your little confidence going.
Yeah.
Dane Key, what a game by him, dude. He's literally hopping over players, full on Olympic hurdles.
Dude, he had a game. He had a game.
He looked sharp.
Let's see here. I was going to say the stats real quick if I can even find the game for it.
I think he was 7 receptions for 145.
It was 7 receptions for 145 yards and no touchdowns.
Very close twice.
Yeah, very close. Literally 1 yard. We had a guy we were sitting with. He had a touchdown anytime for Dane Key, and he was a yard short on each time he got close to the end zone.
Yeah.
So sucks for him.
He was getting so excited every time.
Oh, yeah. But did good. We ran the ball really good.
We did.
We ran the ball really good. Brock actually looked really good, which I think we did a lot more different things with him. There was a lot. He was getting out of the pocket a lot more instead of being in the pocket.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen that week 1. He was out of the pocket a lot and making really precise throws.
Ooh.
And I think that's where he needs to. I think that's what we need to keep doing is letting him get outside of the pocket and making his own plays. I think he'll benefit a lot out of that more than being in the pocket.
Yeah, and it really helps out because we've struggled with offensive line blocking. I think a lot of it's coaching scheme. Still trying to get the exact notion on what it is exactly, if it's the players. But, we've struggled offensively, like blocking in the pass game, like the run game, like you said, really well. But, when your quarterback's just standing in the pocket and your offensive line's not that good, usually it's not going to end well. So they're trying to get him out of the pocket, kind of drop him out a little bit deeper. But, that could bite you in the butt. You could have a QB spy linebacker just waiting for him to roll out and just zoom in on him.
Yeah, and going to the Ole Miss game, I guess we'll go ahead and start talking about it a little bit.
No, we'll stay on this Ohio game.
We'll stay at the Ohio game.
We'll talk about the Ohio game. We'll talk a little bit about the Ohio.
The Ohio. No, but your run game looked really good, like I said. Offensive line blocked really good when we run the ball. I mean, I think there was a hole every single time whoever was running the ball. Jamarion Wilcox, I mean, we had some moments there where he looked really, really good running the ball. And, Demi Simbo-Karnbay, obviously doing a great job starting out this year. I think a lot of people didn't think he would have such a good year starting out. I think a lot of people were expecting Chip to be in. We'll talk about Chip a little bit more here in a little while, but Demi has stepped up his game a lot and proved to probably the coaching staff that he can be the wide receiver one. Listen to me, back one for that offense. So going to Chip, it's going to be hard for him to come back. I mean, Demi has been playing his butt off, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Jamarion Wilcox, he played awesome. Had a few big runs. I mean, he had that second gear that he was hitting, and you're just like, okay, man. Like, you can see this kid being like a really good running back down the road. DSK looked good. Had 2 touchdowns right at the goal line. Gavin Wimsatt punched one in too. I mean, But one thing that bugs me about this Gavin Wimsatt, where he comes in for like 2 plays, and it's like he goes in, snaps the ball, fakes the sweep, and then just runs. Like, it's the same play and it's the same direction. I feel like every time.
Yeah, they're not being very creative.
You got to hand it off sometimes. You just got to hand that off.
That's why you put him in there. You give the ball to the running back, and then you just keep doing it, and then you let him go outside and run the ball, run away from everybody. Yeah, or throw the ball, or even throw the ball when they're not expecting.
Run a little play action.
Which, I mean, we may not have seen everything that they were wanting to run. Ole Miss is going to be a tough competitor Saturday. So, hopefully we've not seen everything that they've got planned. But, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to that game, we went into it. Cody, I'm gonna tattle on you a little bit to the people. Dude, Cody was the biggest butthurt person ever. Kentucky could have a huge play, and he was just like, "Yeah,
woo, go Cats, woo. Yeah, great job, guys."
It was killing my vibe, and it made it miserable. No, no, it was just like, you're like, bro, that was an insane play. I don't care who it's against. I mean, it was crazy.
It was a good play. I was excited, but I wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, we scored on Georgia. Yay. It was a good game, though.
It's always fun to win. I don't care who it's against.
It is.
You got to enjoy wins.
Yeah, we're 2-2. As a University of Kentucky football fan, you always take the wins. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Yeah, and I mean, usually compared to like our other schedules, it's like this week would have been the week we'd actually played somebody.
Yeah.
Like the past few years, we've been playing these cupcake teams.
Yeah, we've been playing Ohio, Murray State, Akron, all these guys.
The first 4 weeks.
We've already played 2 SEC opponents and lost to both of them. So maybe
one was given, though. One was given.
Yeah.
You played them good.
And the other one you should have won, but
I mean, honestly, to counteract that loss to South Carolina, if you could beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss, that counteracts it.
Yeah, I'll give them that. Which is, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Any football game is possible unless it's Kentucky versus like Alabama. We can't play with Alabama. or if it's Vanderbilt versus anybody else in the country, unless they're playing at Missouri for some reason and absolutely playing the best game of their life, but still can't win it. It kind of reminded me of Kentucky, that Vandy and Missouri game, but
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I think Ole Miss is going to be a different challenge, obviously, compared to Georgia. I think they've got a better defense than Georgia. Their offense is really good, but also they've not played a quality opponent to say anything really good about them, because Jackson Dart, he's looked good against, Lafayette High School in California and Wake Forest and Middle Tennessee State. Why they call it themselves Middle Tennessee State. I think there's a school called Middle Tennessee, but they just wanted to be Middle Tennessee State because they didn't like Middle Tennessee. Yeah. So, they've not played nobody really. So it'll be interesting to see about them. That's kind of like Bama. They've got Georgia. They've not really played nobody.
But going back to the Kentucky-Ohio game, Cody, what was one thing that stood out to you in a positive way? And you're like, okay, we've improved here. We're looking better. We're on that incline on that. And what was one thing that you looked at and it was like a decline?
Dylan Nuri. Shout out Dylan Nuri, offensive line. Stepped up big. And there's a couple of clips of him absolutely putting Ohio players on their behinds in the run block. And, he did really good pass blocking. I think Marquez Cox had a little bit better of a game. Did better on the pass blocking and the run blocking. As a whole, the offensive line looked really good. I was glad to see the offensive line actually look like an offensive line. And then negatively, it's kind of hard to say anything about anything negatively about the game. But if I had to say anything, it would probably be, oh wow,
got you stumped there, didn't it?
Yeah. You can't really pick anything negative out of the Ohio. We look really sharp, really clean, good offensive play calls for the most part. I guess we'll do offensive play calling. I'll do that. There was a couple play calls that kind of confused me.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah. Which we've had. Feel like we've been struggling with the play calling on the offensive side of the ball. But defensively, I can't really complain. We let those one plays go where there's like a 25-yard gain. Somehow we let that happen. There's occasionally those times where we couldn't tackle for some reason. But that's just Kentucky football for you. I'm used to that, but nothing really negative about the game really in my eyes.
See, the only thing that I've started noticing this since the South Carolina game. I feel like Brock's scared. It's no shot. I'm not saying he's a horrible quarterback or anything, but I feel like you'll just see him in the pocket and he's just I feel like he just panics.
Yeah.
It feels like if he gets any sort of pressure, he just kind of panics a little bit and rushes a throw. We saw it a lot in the Georgia game, and it just felt like he's real panicky. And you saw it a little bit in the Ohio game. And he started getting a little more comfortable as they got further into the game, but it's he gets antsy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which you gotta take this is his first SEC start anywhere. It's hard to start in the SEC, especially if you've not played anywhere prior. For example, Will Levis, he got to play at Penn State a little bit. I felt like he was comfortable as soon as he got in the offense there. I know he had Liam Cohen and Rich Scrigialo, whatever you call him. By the way, I know this is off topic. Do you know he's coaching for the Raiders? Did you know that? That's probably why we won.
He is
the quarterback coach, probably.
Yeah, he's a quality control guy. See, that's why he had never called plays before he got his job at Kentucky. He's the guy that sits down with the quarterback and just really goes through it. And from what he's done in the NFL, he's done a decent job. It's not a scrub at it, but
he came from San Francisco when we got him.
He worked a lot with Jimmy G and all of them, and it was You know, he did decent, but like he had never called plays before, and then he goes back to the Raiders. But it's I don't know. It's like that's one of them guys. It's like, you know how you have certain guys that are head coaches and some that are really good coordinators, but they're not good head coaches. It's like that situation, I believe.
All depends on the person, but yeah, it kind of thinking about that kind of surprised me because I just seen his face. I'm like, he looks familiar. I was like, oh, that's Richie. But anyways, I think that the Ohio game was good for Brock. You know, he played 2 SEC opponents back to back. He got to play Ohio, which it's good for anybody, especially when you're struggling. We're 2-2 now. That game's in the past, and you got to look at Ole Miss. Hopefully, he's a lot more comfortable. Hopefully, we fix some stuff on the offensive line. Hopefully, our offensive line is more in sync this game. This is a very important game for our offensive line to actually step up because Ole Miss has a very good defensive line. I would say better than Georgia's offensive line, and we struggled a little bit against Georgia, but
Georgia's still pretty stout.
Georgia, they are stout. I'm not saying that they're. I'm not saying that they're. I mean,
Georgia's still got probably a top 3, top 5 defense in the nation.
Yeah, like Ole Miss. I'll just name one player. What's his name? Plays for them. That plays for him now. Wait, it was at A&M. I just had his name in my head and done forgot. What is his name? He transferred from A&M, like top recruit in the country.
I'm not. I don't know who you're really talking about because I think they got like a couple guys from A&M.
I'll find out if you want to talk for a second. Yeah, Walter Nolan. That's who it is.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
What's up, Bush? I see you in the comments.
But your offensive line is going to have to do a lot of work Saturday to keep Brock calm, cool, and collected, and which I don't think Ole Miss's secondary is like the greatest. I'm not sure. I don't think they're the greatest in the world. But your defense is going to step up. I ain't worried about the defense. I feel like your defense is going to hold it down, but you got to score points offensively. You can't, just like Georgia. I mean, you can't beat a team like Georgia or Ole Miss by just field goals. You got to go score points.
And that's one of them like games like you're really gonna have to rely on the run game, I believe. Yeah. Like I know they got a nasty front four, but you got to figure out how to get that going because when you get the run game going, you can set up the pass 100 times easier. And because then you can run the play action, throw off the defense, maybe hit a deep ball. And one thing that I really took away from this game this past week is like a lot of people. Like, they were always like, Barryon Brown's the best receiver on the team. I mean, I was one of them. Like, I thought Barryon was – I think he has a lot of talent. But I think that game, it shows how good of hands Key has. You know, I mean, I think we need to rely on him. Yeah. Because, like, it's these games that we're trying to force-feed Barryon, and it's, like, not working always. Because, he's going to get a lot of attention. But if you can get Dane Key going – I believe that'll open it up a little bit more for Barryon. Yeah. Kind of get that duo going like they did in their freshman year and really just ball out.
Which, I mean, your wide receiving core is so talented all over. I mean, I don't get why in the world we're trying to focus one player and give him the ball so much when you've got so many weapons. You've got Key, Barryon, you've got McClain, you've got Anthony Brown-Stevens, you've got I mean, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And like, that's what makes our offense so good is you've got so many weapons. I mean, not even counting like Josh Caddis, Jordan Dingle, Kamari Anderson, those three. I mean, those three can catch the ball and get out there. I feel
like Macklin I think he's like one of our best route runners.
He 100% one of our best route runners.
Like the way he flips his hips on his routes, I think that really gets him a little extra separation. I just knocked everything down on my desk. But yeah, I think that the way he can like precisely run and the way he gets his angles, and it really just opens it up for him. So we do got a question. Bush said Key is the best. I've been saying that, and then Jeremiah asked. He said, "Will Chip get any carries Saturday?"
Oh yes.
I don't think he's going to get the full workload, but I think they'll get him in there. They'll work him in there.
I think you'll see a lot of him in red zone. Red zone.
I think you'll see him early, too.
I think they'll keep Demi in there. Like the beginning of the plays, Demi will play most of the time. You may see Chip come in there.
I think
Jamarion may play
you'll see him in
more.
that first drive. You'll see him one down at least in that first drive.
When you get inside the 10, I think they're going to use Chip a lot. And then Jacob, he asked, what's the plan to contain Jackson Dart?
You just gotta pray.
Don't let him get out of the pocket. I mean, I don't know how you stop that. I mean, your linebacking core. I feel like if you keep a spy on Dart the entire time, which that's kind of dangerous if you're not careful. But I feel like Jackson is more of a weapon in the air than he is on the ground. So I'm not going to put too much attention on him, but that's something you do got to keep an eye on if you're the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we did fairly good against Carson Beck too. I mean, the defense really did well. I think we've got some pretty stout corners. We'll see how Maxwell does in that coverage. I mean, they have one receiver, Trey Harris. He's already got 628 yards, 4 touchdown receptions. Each game he's had. His first game of the year, he had 8 receptions, and each game since then, he's had one more reception, each game, than the one before it. First was 8, second was 9, third was 10, fourth was 11. And, he had 225 yards last week against Georgia Southern. So, I mean, he's going against these lower-end D1 schools. But sometimes these lower-end D1 schools have pretty good DBs. So, I mean, I don't really know how to gauge that off of these 4 opponents that they have played. I mean, I mean, this is going to be their first real SEC game this year. So we'll see how Maxwell does. I mean, I want to see him get that swag back. I mean, I think that pick 6 really helped him out against Ohio. Yeah. So we'll see if that continues. And
I just like to see the entire secondary perform well.
Will we see if Fari gets nice. Pick 6?
We could see if Fari get a pick 6, or I mean, we could see a
fumble for the Georgia game.
We could. I mean, you could. Well, it wasn't a Fari. I'll correct you there. It was Allen.
Oh, yeah. My bad. He went crazy though that game.
I will say this, and we may put this on YouTube Reels or TikTok or whatever. If you guys ain't following us on TikTok, you follow us on TikTok. We don't do much on there. Just do it anyways if you love us. But Zion Childress is the best defense player. Childress, same thing. He's the best defense player that we have on the football field.
No, I was saying that again. Just that's who I meant picked it, not Fari.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
his. I know, but I said the wrong name.
I was just saying that he was our best defensive player we have on the field at all times. So
yeah, and I feel like our defense is pretty stout. I mean, like you said, he's probably been our best player. I mean, Alex Fari's been playing well.
Deion's been playing good.
He
gets a lot of double teams, and
you just gotta have more out of your other guys.
Dumas Johnson has been playing good.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Our whole linebacking core has been playing really good. That's why going back to the containing Jackson Dart, I think it won't be a problem keeping him inside the pocket, especially if one of them hits him really good. I think he'll be a little too worried to get outside the pocket, run with it, which is a good thing.
I'm just more scared of third downs.
Yes.
And we're horrible on third downs.
Yeah, and it's like our defense does such a great job of keeping us in the game, but our offense screws everything up and can't get us in the end zone, and we don't give our defense a break. I mean, we go 3 and out. We cannot keep going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Oh, I was meaning defensively, third down.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah, I know. Our defense, we're terrible on third downs, but yeah, defense plays great. Third down's about the only issue that they've got. They've got great They do great on the run, doing really good in the air. There's like I said, there's those moments where they let the 20-yard pass go by them, or like that big gang go by, and
yeah. Well, I mean, every defense has those plays like where they have busted coverages, and a guy just sneaks out, gets open, and I mean, I feel like every play that comes down to that. Like, there's always going to be somebody. If you're in a zone, there's going to be somebody open. It's just if the quarterback actually sees him.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of it as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for Saturday. A couple of years ago, if anybody here listening remembers, should have went and beat Ole Miss 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Should have beat them. 100% should have beat them. We had a bad call against us.
A couple bad calls.
Costed us the game. Touchdown to Dane Key actually got called back because apparently there was false start. But it is going to be really exciting. A good defense going against a good offense. A semi-good offense going against a really good defense. But we'll also see if our offense has made a couple changes and is actually going to play some football on Saturday. So,
yeah, and like I'm excited for it. I'm really hoping we just play them good. Like I'm fine if we go in there if they look good and we lose. Like I know that sucks to say.
Yeah.
But if we can play like we did against Georgia, against Ole Miss on the road, I mean, just give me a glimmer of hope to win the game.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go in there and get absolutely embarrassed. Cause like I mean,
yeah, no, that's the one. That's the worst thing. If you're Mark Stoops or you're just that entire coaching staff, you cannot go in there and get blown out like 44-7. Like that cannot happen, because the way that our defense has been playing past 3 weeks, it just would, for me especially, I would be so confused and be like, how in the world did we just let them do that to us? The way our defense has been playing. And that's just going to fuel the fire for the coaching thing, and which I think a lot of people are already all over that. But we're not going to get into that currently until that something actually happens. But like I said, we'll see. Excited to see what our offenses can do this week, and which I mean, we almost beat Ole Miss with an offense coordinator that, like you said, never called plays before.
Mm-hmm.
Basically almost had no idea what he was doing. So
yeah, but Ole Miss they're a lot better team than they were 2 years
ago. Oh yes, 100%.
Yeah, they're pretty stout. I mean, it's not a team that we can just sit here and say they're overrated or anything like that. They're still pretty stout. I mean, they haven't played an SEC team, but they definitely look like they're a legitimate contender. I mean, they've got a great coach, Lane Kiffin, and I really don't want the memes after the game. That's what I'm
already seeing all the Jackson Dart stuff with his woman that he used to be with and all this stuff. I didn't even know that all went on until recently, but
the what?
His ex-girlfriend stuff. You never seen all that?
With who?
His ex-girlfriend, where Jackson Dart, where he cheated on her?
No.
Oh, well, everybody's been making little edits of Jackson Dart throwing the football there at the beginning of the TikTok, and then it going to his girlfriend talking about how he cheated on her with 2 other girls and all this other stuff. But, yeah. Yep. I know that's odd to talk about, but that's what I've been seeing all over. And it's not even UK fans, it's just
national
people. Yeah, just random people posting it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's if you control him, get in his head, I mean that'd be nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, somebody put a picture of his ex-girlfriend in the face mask and just keep staring at him.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. That would be a little hard to play with, but offensive line's gonna have to step up Saturday. Can't have to score touchdowns. Cannot be kicking field goals the entire game. Not gonna win the game with just field goals. I wish we could, because our kicker is is insane. Probably one of the best kickers in the country. Bro. Our kick, I think, was his 13th made field goal in a row, including and last year.
Two team records.
Yes. And I think, what was he going to do? Wasn't he going to kick like a 56-yard field goal at the Ohio game to beat his record he did the previous week against Georgia? Because he did 55 against Georgia, and that beat a record. And they were going to let him kick a 56. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch the game Saturday, we did it actually. We went for it on 4th and 7.
Yep.
And we scored a touchdown on that same play. So,
yeah,
that was fun. But
yep. Keep talking, Cody. I'm trying to.
add something. No, you're good. Yeah, but you got to score touchdowns. Cannot keep kicking field goals. Your defense is going to have to do a really good job of keeping Jackson Dart in the pocket, and getting a lot of work. I think we need to win the turnover battle here. I think we need to have a couple turnovers in this game, rattle them a little bit. And I think if you can get all that going and your defense plays like they should, I think you end up winning the game. Pretty close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side necessarily. So I think that it's either going to be a field goal or a touchdown win for Kentucky. So, so that's going to be interesting to see with them. And I always think it's so weird because they play at 11 o'clock and at 12 o'clock here. So it's such an early game for Kentucky because we're not used to that.
Yeah, got us by an hour.
Yeah, and I don't know. If you guys are listening, type in the chat here, or if you've got any questions, anything like that. We've talked about the Kentucky versus Ohio game, and talked a little bit about the Ole Miss Kentucky game coming up Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on ABC Network.
Yeah.
And now, Christian, I think we need to leave basketball for a minute and
leave basketball?
Wait, football. And talk a little bit of the
talk about what?
Kentucky basketball.
Today.
Oh, look at that court. Look at that court. Now, guys,
beautiful.
if you haven't seen this, which you guys have probably seen it, this is the court that the University of Kentucky Big Blue Madness will be using for their nights. One of the greatest nights in all college basketball, Big Blue Madness. And this court actually is like an LED court. So this is the court that they use. I think they use it over at the Olympics for something. Yep. I've seen, and then the NBA All-Star Game of 2024. So if you want to get a really good look at what that court can do, go watch that highlight thing of the contest and stuff they have for that. But this is a court that they can actually play on while they change the graphic on the court. So it's like a I don't know, what would you call it? It's
like you're playing on a movie screen.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's super cool.
Space Jam. But in real life.
It's really cool. It's the first time any college basketball program has used this court. We're
already ahead of the game.
Pope
it's gonna be beautiful.
Absolutely. And let me just say, I'm so happy that Pope put the UK or the Kentucky State logo in the middle of the court. Mm-hmm. Should have stayed there last year. But some guy we used to have, I'm not going to mention his name, got rid of because we lost a game and they thought it was bad karma. So, but
I think it was those horrible looking Rupp Arena signs.
I also think it was really just bad coaching. But
well, no, I was talking about the court.
Oh, I was talking about the last game.
Dude, I hated, like, you know how they had it, like, just like that random blue streak in the middle of the court where it just said Rupp. And I'm like, dude, no, just change it back to blue, leave it in there. Don't box it up. It looks awful.
Now imagine if this was the court they played on all year.
No, they couldn't
black
do it.
Court.
They couldn't do it.
I know that would be cool, kind of cool.
That would be cool, but that would no. You could easily throw a team off, and they would somehow rig it and
black out the court while you try to steal the ball and then turn the lights back on.
Yeah, like just shade the inbound line a little bit.
So that would be cool.
Out.
So Christian, what's something that you hope to see at Big Blue Madness? Who do you like? Maybe it's somebody you want to see. Maybe it's something that you want to see them do. What's something that you want to happen?
I don't know. Play basketball. No, I'm excited to hear about how like enthused this crowd's gonna be for Mark Pope, because his introductory press conference was insane. Like that place was packed out, and it was like really cool because you're coming out of a horrible loss in the tournament. John Calipari leaves, and then you announce Mark Pope, and then I went, and you go in, and you're like you're walking to it, and you're like, man, this was like game day, man. Like this place is packed. Yeah, you just see people filing in, and they're like stopping the doors because like there's so many people, and they're having to open up seating, and like the whole arena was packed. Ended up breaking a world record for most attended press conference ever, and the hype is back for Kentucky basketball.
Yeah.
And I remember we were a little nervous about his recruiting skills, and he put together a pretty good team. I mean,
very good
on
team.
paper.
Yeah.
We haven't seen how they all mesh and how they actually play. I mean, you just got to give that a little more time, but basketball season's coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how hyped it gets there for Mark Pope and the boys that he has. And it'd be interesting to see if he actually brings out, like, how Cal would always bring out, like, Drake or somebody crazy like that, But, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, get somebody, like, really big, like, big-name superstar to come out there with them.
Yeah, like John Summerall. That would be a cool name to bring.
God. Just beating a dead horse.
I'm just joking. Cat's cut. You could see Cat's cut on the floor. You never know. I mean, it's very unlikely that's going to happen. But you never know.
See anybody from Cat's cut on the court is if we're run on the court and get arrested.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what goes on. I mean, first look at the team all together out there playing in front of a group of people. I mean, they're going to be playing against each other, just like a little scrimmage probably, like normal. But I think it's gonna be surreal for those players too, because they've not really got to experience BBN on that level.
Yeah, like a lot of those players come from like universities that, like, I'm not hating on them, but there were smaller schools and they've not been in a crowd like that exciting. So it's going to honestly probably be a really cool experience for them to get on the court and get into that atmosphere, because they're going to have to get used to it. So, I think they're ready.
It's going to be loud.
Oh, yes. I wish I could go. Really want to go. Hate that I can't go. But definitely am going to be. I really do wish I could
Cody's
go.
going.
We're talking about the men's basketball. We're going to see the women's basketball.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see the women's basketball. Women's basketball, actually, if they come out with a way too early top 25, and the Lady Cats were at 23 right now. They're at 23rd best team in the country to start out. That's very impressive, because I don't think we've ever been ranked that high since Matthew Mitchell and Macy Morris, and when it was them and Ryan Howard.
Yeah, Ryan Howard.
Blair Green. They were all on the same team. That was a good team. But the ladies team looks really good. Wouldn't surprise me if they did better than the men's basketball team. Wouldn't shock me there. They've got a lot of experience and a lot of talent on that team. So we're going to see some really, really good things out of the ladies team, but we're also going to see some good things out of the men's team. Yeah. I feel like we're going to shock some people. We got to play Duke this year. We got to go to Clemson. We got Ohio State. Don't be surprised if we maybe beat all three of them. Maybe win two of the one. You never know.
If they come out just balling and just upsetting people, that'd be sick.
Oh yeah, I would love it.
But okay, since we're talking a little bit about basketball, Cody, where do you expect the basketball team win-wise? Are you thinking 15-19? Are you thinking 20-24, 24 plus? Where are you gauging this team just off of what you see on paper and like the highlights and the film and stuff like that.
How many games we got this year?
All of them.
Okay. Ooh, let me see how many. Let me pull up the games. I want to say 24 plus. Be honest with you, I want to say 24 plus. I think that the experience that you have on this team, I think the most thing that everybody's worried about is I've almost said Stoops. Can Pope coach them in the right direction?
Mm-hmm.
I think he most definitely can. I think you win 24 plus games. Do I think you go undefeated? No. I think you will drop the games that you probably should drop, that you should probably lose, that people think you will lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there'll be those maybe 2 to 3 games that you're not supposed to lose, but you do anyways, kind of like Kentucky football.
See, I mean, okay, so the schedule looks like first week we got Kentucky Wesleyan.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. I ran the words together. October 23rd, so we're like not that far. We're less than a month away from basketball.
Yeah,
we'll be picking up on the basketball content. We were just a little excited for football, but we'll be picking up on that basketball content here soon. And then Minnesota State, Mercado.
Our first game. I think our first game is it not Duke, or our third game is Duke, isn't it?
No, they're like I think they're our 5th game. They're our first.
They're our third game, not counting exhibition games. We have 3 exhibition games.
I'm counting all of them.
Okay, so you got 3 exhibition games. You got the Blue and White preseason event. You got the Kentuckian Wesleyan, and then Minnesota State. Then your first 3 games are Wright State. Then you got Bucknell, and then you got to go to Atlanta to play Duke, Lipscomb, Jackson State, Western Kentucky, Georgia State, at Clemson.
Why do they gotta play that on a Tuesday?
What?
Why they gotta play that Duke game on a Tuesday, man? If it was like on a Saturday, bro, I'd probably go.
We don't got many Saturday games. Oh, hey, the Gonzaga games.
We got Bucknell on a Saturday.
We got Gonzaga on a Saturday.
Jackson State on a Friday.
We got Louisville on a Saturday at home.
Cat's Cook gonna be there.
Cat's Cook could be. Dude, we played Brown. Oh, wow.
Colgate. Luckily, I'm a Crest guy.
Stupid.
What? I'm just messing. We got Florida on a Saturday. Mississippi State. I think that's when we start playing more Saturday.
Now that would be a good game to go to. Alabama.
Yeah.
Arkansas on a Saturday. I ain't wasting my paycheck there.
That's gonna be a big game.
Yeah, we got Texas that Saturday, but we'd have to go to Texas.
Why do we have to go to Texas in both sports? Let's at least play one at home versus them.
Does Texas come to us, or do we have to just go?
We go to Texas in both.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Why? I like that.
And then we got to go to Oklahoma.
They should have to come to us. We're the superior. We've been in that conference longer.
So this is how we finish our season. I'm going to start out with the Arkansas game. So it's at Rupp, at Ole Miss, Rupp versus South Carolina, Rupp versus Tennessee, at Texas, at Vandy, at Kentucky, at Bama, at Oklahoma, at Rupp versus Auburn, at Rupp versus LSU, and then at Missouri. That's how we end it.
A couple, talking about those teams that you may lose to, that you shouldn't lose to. I mean, you may go to Texas and lose. You may go to Oklahoma and lose. Those two, it's tough places to play.
It's
wild. It's wild that you have to go to the 2 new SEC teams. I think that's hilarious. You have to go to them; they don't come to you. Or you go to one of them, they come to you. But that's weird. We don't got to go to A&M this year. Praise the Lord.
Thank God.
That would be rough on Pope having to go to A&M. A&M's a tough place to go. And you don't have to go to Arkansas. That's a positive for Pope as well.
It's not good for Cal, though.
It's not good for Cal. That's bad for Cal.
I'm excited for this basketball season because it feels like we may not have the best team that we've ever assembled.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this is going to be one of them fun teams. Like, it's going to be one that you're going to be able to sit back and, like, enjoy, like, through the wins and the losses. It's not like anytime they lose, they're, like, just throwing the TV through the remote, like, just mad at the world. Like, it's not going to be any of that. There might be a few games, like, where you're just like, what are we doing?
It's because we don't expect, like, perfection, especially being his first year. You know, with Cal, we kind of were like, oh, we should basically be going undefeated. We should be going to the Final Four.
We saw like all this winning, like year after year. It's like right off the rip, we're going to the Sweet 16, and then the next year we go to like the Final Four. Or did we go to? Yeah, we went to the Sweet 16 with John Wall, and we go to the Final Four with Brandon Knott. Got beat by Ohio State.
No, we beat Ohio State that year. I think Elite Eight we lost. Yeah, because we knocked out Brandon Knott hit that game winner against them.
Yeah, that's right.
We got beat by UConn. It was Final Four. UConn beat us in the Final Four. Yeah.
And then, I mean, we win in 12. 13, Nerlens Noel happens. Like, that season derailed quickly. I mean, that was just due to injuries, though. He was so good, though. For those games he played, he was insane.
He was, dude.
Then 14, that was a good year. Julius Randle. Then 15, crazy.
The beginning of the Twins.
Yeah, I mean, championship appearance, next year Final Four appearance.
Yeah. And it just went downhill, man. I mean, I think it went downhill after the Fox year.
Yeah.
I think after Fox and them lost to North Carolina.
That was a gut wrencher, man.
Oh, man.
I hate Drake May just because of that. And, like, he had nothing to do with that game. But I still hate Drake May.
Didn't even play. Drake May is not even involved.
But his brother was.
I know, but he's a quarterback in football.
I know, but I hate him just because of it. He's related to him. They got the same DNA. I hate him.
No, I felt like Calipari.
I hope he does well in life. I hope he's very successful. But I hope he gets a lot of money and is able to lay his head at night and pray and be a good man of God. But I hope nothing but the worst for him as a quarterback.
Which he's not started out so hot if you pay attention to the NFL any. He's
not playing.
He played last week. Played a little bit.
For like 2 seconds.
Well, I mean, he still played.
No, you can't judge that off
garbage I think they'll probably play him Saturday or Sunday.
They might. I mean, Brissett's not been doing too hot. But back to basketball.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like we've got a good thing with Pope. I mean, we still got to see a lot. And I was really hoping going into this football season. I know this is like a weird segue, but like I was really hoping that Kentucky football was going to show up this year and be that dominant force, and then Kentucky basketball is just going to come in, and like you're going to have that split few weeks in October, November, and December, like where both teams would just be rocking, and like I was just really hoping for that because that'd been such a great time to be a fan.
Oh, I know.
It just,
but they can't. We always buy the hype.
Hey, there's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time in football.
There is.
But you know, it's starting to shift toward basketball season. I mean, it's starting.
I think everybody's almost
starting to get there.
I think after Saturday, if everybody's thinking where it's going to go, basketball season better hurry up.
If we lose to Vandy,
but we're done after Vandy.
After Vandy, they're gonna be moving those Kentucky basketball games up.
All right, we got to move this to October, guys.
Pope,
we can't wait till November 3rd.
Ready, we're playing on Saturday.
Yeah, and then we get our first exhibition game and lose to Kentucky and Wesleyan, as you call them. We lose.
It's Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
but no, I am excited.
Kentucky Wesleyan. I mean, isn't
that like almost downtown? Kentucky Wesleyan.
No, I want to say it's.
Is it a little bit more north?
No, I remember always seeing the sign.
I'm pretty sure
on the way up, or it might be Ohio Wesleyan. I'm thinking of, or something like that. Because I remember we played some team. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. And
I'm
I
pretty
remember
sure
just
they're
driving to
downtown
Cleveland.
Lexington.
But I remember just driving up there and seeing one of the signs on the team that we played, and I was like, "Oh, so that's where it's at."
Dude, I know this is way off topic, but you're talking about Ohio. Do you know that the University of Ohio is almost in West Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away. I was like, that might as well be the University of Ohio, West Virginia. It's like Cincinnati. They might as well just be the University of Cincinnati, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, and then like in that MAC, you've got like Kent State, Toledo, and who else? Bowling Green. They're all like right there, like close together, like within like 30 minutes to an hour. It's
a good conference to be in.
I can't wait for MACtion to pick back up. So we have football on Tuesdays.
Huh?
MACtion?
What is that?
You don't know what MACtion is? It's when the MAC conference plays football.
Oh.
They call it MACtion, baby.
I've never even watched MAC football, but
bro, that's where you find out some just players that you're going to be learning about the next year in the transfer portal. That's how you know.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Hey, there's some good players that come out of the MAC. There's nothing wrong with the MAC.
That's true. Ben Roethlisberger, he came out of the MAC.
Just had to bring that up, didn't you? That's why I don't like you.
No.
What's funny is Miami of Ohio is like right at Cincinnati. Ball State.
Are they really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I didn't know they were that.
Like I'm looking at the conference picture. You know how like they all do maps.
Oh yeah.
So you've got right there in just like, so you've got Kent State. Is that App State? No, it's Akron. Sorry, I was like
App State's in.
I was like, when did they get it? Yeah, I was like, when did they get in the MAC? I was like, what is this? Oh, it's Akron. So you got Akron, Kent State, Bowling Green, and Toledo, just all like right there together, and then Ohio's down
What's
here.
What's that?
It's all like right there.
Oh man,
together.
they really are. Aren't they?
They've got like a really close conference. That'd be nice for us, dude. You could go to about every home game. And then you got Buffalo way up here, 5 million miles away. And then
that's like the best team in that whole conference. Buffalo is.
Buffalo always has a good. They always have one good, like really good edge rusher.
And edge rusher.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Christian, we forgot about something very important.
What did we forget about?
We need score predictions for Ole Miss and Kentucky.
Yeah. Cody, since you're spot on, we'll let you start off.
Man,
so
I was hoping you'd let me think this a little bit longer on it.
No, I'm stealing yours.
Okay.
So if you get it right, I get it right.
I think your defense is going to play good. I think they're going to hold them to a minimal amount of points. I think your offense does pick it up just a little bit. I think you do score a couple of touchdowns. So I'm going to go. Give me Kentucky 21, Ole Miss 17.
Okay, Cody. Okay.
That's going to be such a bad prediction, but I'm going to go with it.
No, I think getting Chip Trayanum back, I think that's going to help the offense quite a bit because you're going to have an experienced running back in there, and it's going to help out with, Jamari Wilcox looked great. Jason Patterson's been good when he's out there, but getting this guy back, it's going to be good for us on those short and hard-earned downs, and it's going to be able to pick up those hard-earned yards. It's like he's a hard runner, so it's going to bring that extra expansion to our offense, and I think that our offense is going to really rely on Dane Key, and he's going to have a big game for 2 weeks in a row, and I'm going to go on a bold prediction. Dane Key's going to have 120 yards and a tutty.
Oh.
So, big game for Dane Key this week. And I'm going to say, I'm trying not to think. I'm trying to think with my head and not my heart here. In my heart's saying Cats 24, Ole Miss 21, but my head's saying Ole Miss 35, Kentucky 14. So we're going to get some.
I'm going to change mine real quick. 23-17, not 21. I'm going to say 23-17.
23-17. I'm going to say, man, I could really see Ole Miss beating us pretty good, but I could also see us playing a really good game. Like, there's no in between though. It's like
there's not. It all depends on how your offense plays. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
And
we've not played on the road yet, so that's really the kicker.
Who knows? We could be really good playing on the road. We couldn't face us whatsoever. Ole Miss isn't that big of a place either. It's not that big of a venue.
That's true, but.
It's also still an away game. It doesn't matter.
It's an away game. You're gonna have all the crowd.
Unless you're playing at Vandy, then there's nobody that goes to Vandy games.
But I'm gonna say Ole Miss 28, Kentucky 20. 21.
I feel like I'm the only one that picks Kentucky to win the games. But that's I get that. So
I picked Kentucky last week.
I hope so.
I wouldn't mind changing to 21.
I hope so. Oh, 21, sorry.
21. But yeah.
You don't think we'll kick any field goals?
We might. Actually, let me change it again, Cody. 24. It's going to be from 65. I'm kidding. I really don't know. I suck at score predictions. Let me change it again.
Go ahead.
Cats by 325.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. We're gonna stick with the 28-21.
Okay.
But Cody keeps texting our group chat my score prediction updates. But
we're at currently Ole Miss 28, Kentucky 325.
Yes.
That's what you want.
Yes, that's exactly what I want. But, as we begin to wind this episode down, you know how we always do it. We do it with some Bible verses. Cody, did you remember this?
I got it. Actually,
oh, you got it. Let's go, Cody. You're on the ball. I got it.
I'm on the ball right now, dude. I was already ready. I got this is just, I know everybody's probably heard this verse. It's a very common verse. Philippians 4:13. It says, "I can do all things through Him who strengthens me." The Lord is our strength. I mean, obviously, you get that through church. Dub Cody. Yes, sorry, I had to read that from Bush. Bush, you're the GOAT, by the way. I just want to tell you that. No, I think it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. If you played basketball when you're in middle school, you definitely heard that verse a lot. There's a lot of other verses you probably heard if you played sports in middle school and especially high school. But those are some of the most important verses to understand and to know and deep in your heart is the Lord. When we need something, we go to Him, and He gives us strength and His glory and the love that He gives us. It's just it's something that you can't really explain. And the Lord, He's the one person that we can always go to. He's our strong tower. Always lean on the Lord for all your problems. He knows all the problems that you deal with. Just sit in prayer and talk to Him. He's always listening to our prayers, and you got to be patient. The Lord is, His timing is perfect. The things that the Lord does for you isn't just, something random that just happens like in a snap. He's going to do the things that He knows, because He knows your future. He has the future in the palm of His hands. He knows, and he's going to do what's best for you in your life. So, and that's how much He loves us. He's not going to put us in situations, even though we think He puts us in situations that are bad.
And to piggyback off that, I'm sorry to interrupt, Cody.
That's go ahead.
But like in terms of like football, I'm going to put this in like a football term.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like He knows the perfect timing for you. It's like when you get this new quarterback in, and sometimes like he's really good, but he's still raw.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush him into that starting position.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know you might have some fans out there just really chawing at the bit to get him in there. And But like you want him to sit there and you want him to develop. No, I'm being serious though. Like you want that character development to happen, so he's able to go in, process defenses, make the correct throws, know where to go with the ball. And it's like even like in our personal lives, it's like God is putting you through certain things, and maybe it's like if you have like a calling in ministry or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like you go from, you got to sit down sometimes, really develop who you are in Christ,
100%.
and really get deep in the Word and prayer and fasting and stuff. And then when He thinks you're ready, and it's His timing for you to actually take that step into it, I mean, it's all gonna work out. Like it's better to wait on His timing instead of rushing it. Because like even in that quarterback situation, you throw that rookie quarterback in there, and he has all this potential. I mean, you might be wasting that potential, and it's like sometimes you gotta learn stuff, sit through it, and
I'm going through that with Carolina Panthers kind of sounds like, but like that's where you were kind of going with that one. But
no,
it sounded just like you were talking about Bryce. But
no.
I like that. Though.
I mean, I've seen a lot of bad quarterback play, and I've saw a lot of quarterbacks get rushed into some positions, aka the Johnny Football Brian Hoyer fiasco back in 2014. We had an awesome staff on the team, and it just really just broke everything up from there. I
like what you were talking about, being the patience and everything. It's and I read I think it was an article talking about relationships and what Christian guys confused on why in the world why there's no girl in my life that.
That's exactly my story.
That's me right now.
No, that was my story, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But like, I really liked what this guy said. He's like, or it was the guy, or it was a girl, or something. Someone said this. He was like, so he's like, Lord, the Lord is our Father, right? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, well, why in the world why would He give you a girl if Him being the Father of everybody? Why would He give you the girl, especially if you're not ready for it? So it's like a lot of guys get impatient. They want to go out there trying to find the girl they think is right without, going to the Lord first and, getting His guidance and getting just trying to go through the Lord first and who we should be going through with all of our problems.
I can second that notion that you just said, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was confused, like why I hadn't had that yet, and then got right with God. Like, I mean, I wasn't like horrible, like doing awful things or anything.
Lukewarm.
But I was in a bad spot at the time with I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling with a lot of things. And then I got close to God, and like I really wasn't even focusing on that, and then it was just like it just happened, and it was God. Like I'll tell you that everything lined up perfectly. It was the perfect time, and it was awesome.
Yep, I'm just right now trying to be patient as well. But go ahead, Christian. You
hey, but now we're getting married, and you're gonna be my wedding, Cody.
Go Christian. Go Christian.
Cody, you're next.
Hopefully, Lord willing, you got next.
Yeah, be patient,
but go ahead.
Yeah,
patient. I'm being patient. I am being patient.
But so mine is Romans 6:23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord.
Amen.
So, like, I mean, in this verse it says, "For the wages of sin is death." We, as humans, it is just like our nature. Like, I mean, we all sin daily.
Oh yeah.
And with our human bodies, like, I mean, if you even go back to the beginning of the Bible, like in the first few chapters, I mean, it talks about Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit. And then that's when sin enters the world. And like we begin to sin, and we take that covenant that we had originally with God, and that is now broken. And I mean, this chapter really, like these chapters in Romans, like, I mean, it really discusses this in depth. I mean, Romans 6, I mean, that's a great chapter to read. I've actually been studying on that here recently. But it talks about all this, and it's like, it says in the verse right before it actually, but now that you have been set free from the sins and have become close with God, the benefit you reap leads to holiness, and the result is eternal life. And as Christians, as we choose to turn from all these wicked ways and choose God over these sins that are just natural to do, it's like to sin. Like, I mean, it's easy to lie. It's easy to do that, and it's just like nature. And it's like, I mean, if you're not careful, like that could easily become very prominent in your life. And nobody wants to be called a liar. Like that's the one, like everybody hates that.
Yeah.
And you don't want that notion to like really pick up. So, like it says, like I'm like going everywhere with this.
No,
right now.
dude, you're doing good. You're doing great.
But like it says, the wages of sin is death, and our bodies, where we have sinned on this earth, when we pass away, the eternal life is our spirit, and that's when we accept Jesus, and we look at him as our Savior. When he died, he took all those sins and died for us there. Yeah. And when we accept him as our Savior, that he took all those sins on the cross and washed us clean of all that. That's where we get the eternal life. And it's not this body that you're looking at if you're watching this on live or if you see something public. Like, it's not that. That's not like who we actually are. It's this guy that's inside, and that's who's longing after God. And when you die, you go to heaven and you get to worship the Lord all the time and all the good stuff.
It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be an awesome time.
Hope to see you all there.
Yeah.
So,
but great verse. I really liked your verse, Christian. I really do.
Me too. I was trying not to burp the whole time.
Well, you did a good job not burping.
Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys listening to us. Hopefully we're not too ignorant in what we're talking about if it comes to football or basketball.
Yeah, we get a little,
hopefully you guys enjoy listening to us.
Yeah, we get a little sidetracked sometimes.
But, easy. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. That's
I do
just
too.
not
I do
medically, whatever it's called, diagnosed.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Go follow us on all platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And God bless. And as always.
Oh, and if you go to church on Sunday, go to church. If you don't have a home church, I bet there's plenty of churches that would welcome you in with open arms.
Yep, for sure.
Go to church. But God bless. Go Cats. Cats by 90. Go beat the Rebels.
Go Cats.
Go.